Greetings, royal queens and kings. It's your host, Queen Tulsa, and welcome back to the Queen Tulsa Show. Tonight, we will be discussing, oh, yes, we'll be discussing the top news. And let me just start by saying this. Wendy Williams tried to warn us a long time ago. Wendy Williams tried to warn us a long time ago, like seriously. And it's a lot. And let's go ahead and take a moment of silence for the survivors. All right, so we're just taking a moment for the survivors. And also, I'm going to put this message up right here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this message up because it's so relevant right now. And it says, protect and believe Black women the first time. And it's so, so devastating that we have to say it this way because we already know when a white woman says, hey, somebody did this, they're not, you know, criticized, condemned. They're none of that, you know? And it's like they get taken at face value. Shout out to our sister, Sanki Angel. Please go out and actually follow her channel and also stream her music. She just dropped a popular, oh my goodness, a popular banger. Okay. Up Top is what it's called. And you can find her here on YouTube as well. Tangi Danica Gray says, Queen, Sunky. Yes, loving the photo. Loving that photo, sweetheart. My dear sister, Miss Tangi Grace, is definitely up in the building. All right, so let's go ahead and get our banner up. And we're going to be going through a lot of content tonight. So just a heads up, we might be here for a while. Okay, so fair use under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances made for fair use. Uh-huh. For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. The copyright laws of the United States recognizes a fair use of copyrighted content. Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction and copies of phone records or by any other means specified by that section, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not an infringement or of copyright. All right, so let's go ahead and let's really dive into it, you all. Now, I was over on, what is it called? TikTok? Okay, so I was on TikTok and I saw this. I saw a reminder of a video that we all have saw, right? Remember this video? Remember this video?
What you got to say now?
Okay, so remember
what you got to say now?
You
ain't got shit to say when you put your girl on the snap.
Okay, so get into this. He has no problem with letting us know what's going on in that room. And it looks, if memory serves me well, it was a hotel hallway that she was running down. And if memory serves me correctly, it had mirrors. Let's look and see what Puff Daddy has to say.
Baby, I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby. It's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
Come on, people, keep up, keep up, keep up. We got in this room. We go from room to room. This is what made Bad Boy. We go from room to room up in this bitch.
Well, listen here. His behavior, listen here, I'm not saying this is like really disturbing. Just like his ego. And let's bring notice to the late Miss Kim Porter. You know, let's go ahead and drop this down. Let's give Miss Porter her flowers. Let's give Miss Porter her flowers because listen here, Miss Porter was writing a book, right? Miss Porter was writing a book. Wendy Williams got hijacked out of her career. Earlier in her career, she was in New York and she got ran up out of there by this demonic guy. And then to know that Usher was up under him, to know that Meek Mill is on every trip with him, to know that our late brother Biggie Smalls is gone. Kid Cudi, what happened to his car? Why was this guy able to get away with all of this? Well, all of this, like this is a lot. This is like nothing to play with. And my dear sister, dear Auntie Wendy, we love you so much. Let's do another run back. Let's run back to, you all remember Jonathan Oddie? Do you all remember that? Do you all remember the Jonathan Oddie? If you do not know, Jonathan Oddie was allegedly a blank, worker for allegedly for what's his name? His name is P. Diddy. Yeah. He said that P. Diddy had hired him to be intimate. Okay, so get into this. Let's go ahead and let's bring out the details. Okay. I'm going to stop that one. And I'm going to bring this video up and I want you guys to really, really, really pay attention to what's going on. This man is going to speak. His name is Jonathan Oddie. Okay.
Stormy situation. Okay.
So you don't have
Family in the United States?
yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My
Just your dog?
Yeah. Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies. Okay. They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled.
Okay. So what he's saying right here is Diddy and Ross, they are, they're intimate. And I know you might say, oh, well, he's making these accusations and what does it have to do with what's going on now present day? Well, what it has to do with present day is Jonathan Oddie was locked up on May the 18th of 2019. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's get into it.
They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay.
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I say that wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter.
All
Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do to Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever he calls himself. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people.
Okay. So now he's letting the detective know. Do you know Sean Combs? He says, Puff Daddy. Oh, Puff Daddy, whatever his name is. Well, it seemed like the officer knew who he was to me. Right? Let's get into a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to switch it up.
Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was my took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this off, and then I'm actually going to share another. I'm actually going to share another piece of information right here. So, like I said, we're on a journey. So just stay with me here, okay?
Because allegedly he paid the hotel security $50,000 to obtain it. And that claim is coming from Cassie when she filed her lawsuit back in November. As for the hotel, they put out a statement saying this hotel is no longer under IHG management and we do not have any access to prior incident records or footage. In terms of
now listen here. That plays a big part. This right here, it plays a big part in what's going on. If she, and I'm speaking of Cassie, if she experienced this, just imagine what else she experienced off camera, because that was on camera. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring up this lawsuit right here. Now we're going to bring up the lawsuit. Let's see. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up these docs. Let's see. Okay, and we're going to... Oh, hold on. I didn't want it like that. Hey, y'all, give me 1 second. I don't know. Okay, I guess I could just do it like this, right? Okay, yeah, I can do it like this. All right, give me 1 second. I'll bring it up this way. Okay, so let's get into the lawsuit, right? Let me go ahead and switch up our background. Let me make it a little relaxing for you all. Okay, it is the weekend. All right, let me go ahead and do this. Okay, cool. All right, so as we know, this is Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, and it was filed on 11/16 of 2023. We all know that New York, there's a law where, you know, victims, survivors could get justice, right? So this was a complaint, and this was a jury trial demand. Okay? Jury trial. She wanted to take it, if we got to, let's go ahead and take it into the court. Let me just go ahead and face it head on, and let's go ahead and address it. Now, right on over here, a few places. We'll go right here. A preliminary statement. Number one, defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive popularly known by his stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy. Mr. Combs came to fame in the early 1990s with his record label Bad Boy Records. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly referred to as a hip hop mogul. Two, in 2022, Mr. Combs received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. During his acceptance speech, Mr. Combs stated, I have to give a special shout out, thank you, love, to the people that was really there for me. He named a number of people before adding, and also Cassie for holding me down in the darkest times. Love. That right there. That right there. Here, let me make sure let me zoom this in case you all are wanting to know what does it say for real. Can y'all see it? That's what it says. The preliminary statement. They list out who he was, what names he went by, how he, his background and how he is associated with the music. So they had to give a background. He came to prominence and fame in the 1990s, to build up that place. Then he has a record label, He's in the music and entertainment industry over the decades, right? Okay. So it states, he received an award, and at that award, in my opinion, he decided to taunt her. Then that's how I feel about it. Number 3 says, the truth, however, is that Miss Cassandra Ventura was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, S-trap, and S-trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs raped Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him. Let's stop right there. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's possible? From the viral footage that we've been seeing, do you all think that it's possible? Ask yourself that. In my opinion, I don't know what to expect from him. Seeing that video, I really don't know what to expect from him. Okay? And trigger warning. So it says, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. And as I stated before, on the thumbnail, blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura. Forced Miss Ventura to engage in blank acts with male blank workers while blanking and filming the encounters. So my thing is, it looked like they were at a hotel. My assumption, my thinking, did she try to escape? Did he try to put too much on her? You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about doing things against your will, I mean, My heart goes out to her. Back to the lawsuit. Forced Miss Ventura. Okay, did we do that one already? Okay. Ran out of his. Hold on, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna zoom this in so you all can see. Okay. It says ran out of his apartment with a blank arm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. So ran out of his apartment with a blank arm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. Okay. So it says demanded that Ms. Ventura to carry his blank arm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is. And introduced Ms. Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. Now I want y'all to let that just resonate. Let that settle in. Let that settle in. You have a young woman, right? When you talk about these substances and how they are playing a part in this whole situation, is she really in her right mind? Is she able to make a rational decision? You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I'm not a doctor. This is from observation. No, she wouldn't be in her right mind. You know, and then to be forced to engage with these such individuals, like I'm pretty. Was there any health records discussed? Did anybody bring any papers? But see, even with that, people will doctor up something in a quickness. Some people will doctor up something like that in a quickness. I'm just saying, just speculation. All this is speculation. All right, number 4. Ms. Ventura met Mr. Combs in 2005 when she was 19 years old and he was 37 years old. Now, right there, I want to take it right there. Okay, so she was 19. Can you all think back to like when you were 19, what you were doing? What were you doing when you were 19? Well, me, I know I was trying to figure out life. I was, I don't know. I was like just being, not really I wasn't even an adult. I was irresponsible. I can say that, like when I was 19, I was irresponsible to a certain extent, I was irresponsible to a certain extent. Let's see. All right. So she was 19 years old and he was 37 years old. He signed her to his label Bad Boy Records. And within a few years, lured Ms. Ventura into an ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-fueled lifestyle, and into a romantic relationship with him, her boss. Now let's talk about it. When you, I don't know, at 19, opportunity presents itself, he's come off like he's a good guy, and everything is speculation, like I said. He comes off as he's a good guy, and he kind of like learns your behavior, like sneaks in on you, like so those are the grooming parts. How far will you go? You're an employee, I'm your boss. How far will you push the envelope? And sometimes it be like a little mind game for people. Empower? Oh yeah. Listen here. I went on an interview and I had a male violate me, on the job site at the interview, you know, and I didn't get that job. But, it just goes to show you. All right. So let's see. One of the most powerful men in the entertainment industry, and a vicious, cruel, and controlling man, nearly 2 decades her senior. Okay, so just imagine you're 19. This man has like it's like years on you. Like he has experience. Like right now, he should be like in the age of like where he's gonna settle down. Like he's either in his career already, or like opening up a business, or doing something, starting a family or something like that, right? Well, these are just my opinions. This is just how I'm seeing it, right? All right. So Mr. Combs asserted complete control over Miss Ventura's personal and professional life, thereby ensuring her inability to escape his hold. So right there, it's like I have papers on you. Like you tied to me until, and it's no telling if they're renewing the contracts and maybe she's being forced to sign, you know? It says he provided unprecedented avenues for success for the aspiring artist, but in return demanded obedience, loyalty, and silence. And let's just say this, Mama was silent for a long time. And I'll say this right now in case like it slips my mind. Everybody up under him, like Jaguar said, everybody up under him that were writing books, they all disappeared. I'll be sure was almost on his way to glory. Kim Porter was writing a book. But guess what? Guess what? This is Cassie's book right here. 35 pages. 35 pages. This is her book. 35 pages. This is her book. This is the book we was waiting for, y'all. The book was right. The book was right in plain sight. Through their relationship, Mr. Combs was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Ms. Ventura savagely. These beatings were witnessed by Mr. Combs' staff and employees of Bad Boy Entertainment and Mr. Combs' related businesses, but no one dared to speak up against their frightening and ferocious boss. Oh, yeah. I remember one time I got touched on the job and I told and I got fired. So it happens, people. Just giving you an idea of like how y'all like this is the real world. Some people abuse their power. And from what I'm getting is like I said, it feels like he had come off like he was, cool and just wanted to be a friend. And, oh, I'm just, just want to, check you out. She was 19, remember that. Okay, so it says, following these episodes of horrific abuse, Mr. Combs would immediately attempt to hide Ms. Ventura and the evidence of his violent rage. Okay, so it says he would attempt to hide the evidence, okay, he would attempt to hide her. Get into this. It says, following these episodes of horrific abuse, Mr. Combs would immediately attempt to hide Miss Ventura and the evidence of his violent rage. Well, what do we see when she was trying to get to that elevator? It seemed to me that he was hiding her from anybody to see her like that. And the way that he grabbed her up, I mean like a rag doll. And then he went to stumping her out. I was looking, I said, oh my God, what if he had kicked her neck off her shoulder? I mean, he was very powerful, you all. Did y'all not see that video? It was, oh my goodness, it shook me to my core. I was feeling her pain. You know, my mom, I saw my mom get done like that. And I was a child, y'all. So when you talk about when women, you always want to say, well, why didn't she leave? Why didn't she this? Why didn't she that? You don't know how severe it is. You don't know how severe things can get. Okay, it says, he often showered her with gifts following incidents of physical violence, a typical pattern of behavior by serial abusers. In addition to the physical assaults, Mr. Combs frequently reminded Ms. Ventura of his ability to cause serious harm, whether by requiring her to carry his, you know what, in her purse, or by blowing up the car of a musician that was romantically interested in Ms. Ventura. So just imagine this. Okay, so you're in this relationship or situation, whatever it is, right? And, you know, he lets you know, like, hey, you know, you gon' in from observation, I've gotten away with this before. I'll get away with it again. And I'll blame it on you. That's what it was given. Now get into this. Adding insult to injury, Mr. Combs used illegal substances and threats of violence to force Ms. Ventura into repeated unwanted blank encounters with male blank workers. Over the years, Mr. Combs abused Ms. Ventura physically and sexually. She again and again tried to escape his tight hold over her life. Every time she hid, Mr. Combs' vast network of corporations and affiliate entities found her, and those who worked for Mr. Combs' companies implored her to return to him. Many went as far as to explicitly state that her failure to return to Mr. Combs would hinder her success in the entertainment industry. She believed that she had finally separated from her longtime abuser. She joined Mr. Combs for a dinner, after which he forced her into her home and blanked her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. All right, now getting into this, it says Ms. Ventura has now fully escaped Mr. Combs, but the harm that the assaults and sexual abuse he caused her to experience for nearly a decade will forever haunt her. She has required intensive medical and psychological care to recover from the trauma she lived through. She cannot, however, continue to live in silence about what she endured. Mr. Combs remains immensely powerful and immensely dangerous. Miss Ventura therefore seeks justice for the decade of her life that Mr. Combs took away from her with threats of violence, excessive use of drugs, physical and psychological abuse, and sexual slavery. According to Ms. Ventura, brings this action seeking injunctive, declaratory, and monetary relief against defendants in violation of federal trafficking laws, 18 U.S.C. 1591, TSQ, the New York State Human Rights Law, NYEXEC.law, 290 ETSEQ, NYSHRL, the New York Human Rights Law, NYC Admin Code 8-101, ETSEQ, NYCHRL, the Gender Motivated Violence Act, NYC Admin Code 8-901, ETSEQ, GMVA, the New York Services for Victims of Human Ticketing, NY Serves Law 483-BB, California SA and Cover Up Accountability Act, cal.cid.proc 340.16, and the California Trafficking Victims Protection Act, now Civil Code 52.5. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has jurisdiction pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1331 and 1343 at this action asserts violations of 18 U.S.C. 1591 ATSEQ and therefore raises federal questions regarding the deprivation of plaintiffs' rights. The court has supplemental jurisdiction over plaintiffs' related claims arising under state and city law pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1367A. Pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1391B, venue is proper in this court because a substantial part of the event or omissions giving rise to this action, including the unlawful. Okay. Oh, this is illegal. Okay, so these are the parties. Okay. So pretty much, y'all already know that she went down the whole list, all of his companies. And I want to let you all know this, like, Diddy didn't pay her that. He had insurance in place, and what he did is he paid a deductible. So when y'all think it's $30 million, it didn't come from him. It had come from the insurance that he had on him in case anything like this happened. Okay? So the factual allegations. Teenage Miss Ventura meets middle-aged Mr. Combs as her career begins. Now listen, she was still 19. She was not 20. She was not in her 20s. She was still in her teens. She wasn't able to turn 21 before. Listen here. Before we get to this, let's see where we are on time. Okay. I think that this is a safe space to go off, and if we decide to come back, we'll come back here on the same channel, same place. We'll look at more videos, what's going on. If you all just let me know that you are liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back. We'll do this in parts. So this will be part 1 because, of course, we have 35 pages. We're just on page 6. So that way everybody can kind of keep up. And if you missed part one, you can get on over there to part two. Okay? All right. I am your host, Queen Tulsa. I want to thank you all so much for coming out and relaxing with the Queen. Until next time, we want to thank you. Oh, we definitely got to thank you. We had a few people roll in tonight, and we definitely want to thank you for not parking on the lawn. And you're always welcome to come back to the Butterfly Lounge. Yes, you are. All right, so this is part one. Catch us for part two in a jiffy.